Looking night of my life, and wherever it takes me, I'm down for the ride. Baby, don't you know I'm good? Yeah, I'm feeling alright.
We need to focus on the defenses. The straight ankle lock, or Achilles lock, or straight Achilles lock. A lot of different names, same term, okay? This is the only technique men or women, white belt, are able to do as far as leg attack submissions. Okay, it's the only one that they allow you to do. When you get into brown belt and above, they allow you to do toe holds and calf slicers, and depending on the venue, heel hooks and all these other fun stuff. But for right now, white belts, the only one, in many blue belts in most tournaments, IBJJF included, we can only attack a straight ankle, also known as an Achilles lock. Okay, so we covered the offense last week. Let's start going over 3 defenses. The first one I find to be the simplest. But again, whenever I'm talking about defenses, you ever notice there's a common theme? There's different defenses that you're going to use depending on how far in to the submission your opponent is. Like, I'm down here, I feel them isolate an arm and start to get to that top lock in a triangle. I get my hands together and posture up before the triangle is ever actually locked in. Early awareness, right? I always use that term to help us remember it. The smoke detector, right? Smoke detector's going off, I see some smoke, I can put a small fire on my stove out. If I don't have that smoke detector, that early warning system, my house is engulfed in flames in 90 seconds. I'm lucky to make it out alive. I use this analogy very frequently. So, first one is going to be early awareness. Now, my partner, this time we're going to run a defense from the bottom. A lot of people like to break my guard and stand up. And when they do, my ankles break. And this, for some players, is a good opportunity for him to snatch up my ankle. So when he snatches up my ankle, early awareness for this first one. I don't want him to lock his hands and split and sit down and put his heel over into an Ashigarami single leg X. I don't want any of that stuff because there's more obstacles in my way to clearing this. So this first one is going to be this simple. Come back down. We don't even need to slow the drills down. We're just going to allow our partner to control our lapel, stand up, and push on the knee. The second he does, my guard breaks. Top player is going to circle under the ankle, and he's going to grab my ankle like he's getting ready to do an ankle lock. Here, I don't wait for him to get his legs around me and sit down and get wedges in between. The second they grab my ankle, I'm in danger. So this very first technique that we're going to do is we're going to pummel. We're going to circle our foot to the inside. Please remember, I cannot up kick my opponent. Especially putting my foot on the face, can't do it, but I can put my foot on the chest. Now when you do this really quick and you watch high-level competitors do it, it almost looks like you're kicking them while you're pulling your foot out. But there has to be a reason that we're posting there, right? So be a little bit gentle. Don't make it look like you're kicking them in the chest, but there's going to be a push-pull. One foot's going to push, the other foot is going to pull. Now there's one trick to doing this. What I want to do is I don't want to pummel my toes to the inside and pull because my foot gets stuck. So my heel is going to move towards the center line of the body, and as I push him away, I'm going to point my toe and extract my foot. He goes down to his knees. He's going to stand up, break my guard, grab the ankle. The second he does, foot to the chest, heel comes to the inside line, and there's going to be a push-pull. I'm going to extract my legs while pushing his chest away. He sits down, and he can play with either side that he wants. He practices a guard break, stands up, foot to the chest, heel to the inside, push-pull, extract the leg. Back down, last time. The second one we're going to do is a little bit of a timing, okay? So right before we show it, I want to explain something real quick. There's a very common term. Anybody ever not put a boot on at some point in their life? Okay, here's my rain boot. Put my foot in, I push it in, and then flex my toe and pull the boot on. So this term of putting on the boot, as this counter would say, just like putting on a boot, same principles. I'm driving my foot deeper and I'm flexing my toe. They grab my ankle, I'm gonna put the boot on as fast as possible. He decides he's gonna sit down, and I decide I'm gonna come up. If he's got my foot here and I have weight on my foot, how is he going to extend my ankle? He still has sweeps, single leg sweeps and stuff he can do from here also, but when my weight is on and I'm over here, I can start to grab the foot, peel it off of my hip and untangle. Look at my base, nice and wide. I can push on the knee and try to come right to the mount. So as they get the ankle and start to sit down, I'm gonna put on the boot, come up when they sit down, and then clear the knee. It's a lot of talk, but it's really not that hard to do once we get the hang of it. So partner's gonna break the guard and stand up. He's gonna attack my ankle. I'm gonna sit the boot, go ahead. I'm going to come up. See how I sit up with my chest as close as my knee. Put the boot on, drive it deep. Now I'm pulling myself up and keeping the posture, and I have to lean forward. I don't want to be doing this. As he sits down, I'm bringing my chest to my knee, putting the boot on, and standing up on top of him to load my toe weight. Now I can fix my base, push the knee after I clear the hip. I'm gonna clear the hip, push the knee, and pull at the same time and try and hop right to the mount. Okay, so one more time at medium speed. Put the boot on, come up on top of him, clear the legs. Okay, same thing, we'll have an extended amount of time to train with this, 7 minutes. There's 3 counters tonight, this is counter number 2. Ready, 1, 2, 3. Okay. The third one, man, I missed the boat. This person has now captured my ankle, stepped into my center line, and sat down fully. They have their wedge in place, which I'll demonstrate in a second when Bill does it to me. They have their wedge in place in the middle. They've gotten their leg fully into the Ashigarami single leg X position. Their heel is now on my hip, so that every time I try and sit forward, they can just straighten their legs and keep me away. I can't get to the hands, I can't get to the collar, which leaves by default, which means my hands are gonna have to attack and untangle the Ashigarami, direct translation, anybody remember? Leg entanglement, okay? An Ashigarami, it's a leg entanglement. If I can't get to their collar or their hands to fight the lock, it leaves me a pretty straightforward path that I have to do. I have to be able to untangle the feet to get my posture to then be able to advance my position or defend. So, first one, Bill stands up, breaks my guard, he attacks. What do? I'm gonna roll onto my side, point my toe, do a push-pull, and extract. Second one, Bill stands up, gets my ankle. As he goes to sit, I'm coming up, getting my weight, beating the legs, and getting to the mount. Third one, let's rotate this way. My left knee's been jacked, so I want you to attack my right ankle. Same thing. Now, Bill stands up, he gets the ankle, and he sits down, and he's able to fully lock in the single leg X, Ashigarami. I wasn't able to come up. He has his wedge in the center line, which is keeping me from going straight to the mount. If I go to sit forward, his heel, remember, heel in, toe out, okay, not the other way around. If he's here, switch your position of your feet. If he's, you can't even do it. If he's here, no, don't reap. But if his heel's out and his toe's in, look how wide this is and easy to untangle. So he's gonna be heel in and toe out, and a lot of other people I've taken classes or worked with or fought with or whatever the case is, likes to bring this analogy. I fail to do it so often, so I'll say it again today. A lot of times a good Ashigarami single leg X for Bill is going to be this. His knee almost hides his heel. So in other words, if he's like way out here, that's an Ashigarami single leg X, but it could be a lot tighter if Bill covers his, look at that, now he's got like my full leg, okay? So he is in deep. He's got my ankle, my toes are already flexed, he's got his outside hip control, and he has his center line, okay? At this point, using my biceps or even 2, trying to put on the boot, he's got his entire musculature of his back, he's got a frame, and he's got his other leg to control. So fighting at this anymore is not going to give me the most mileage. Here's what is. I have to counter this or they're going to snap my ankle off. There's a couple things I'm gonna do. First thing, I'm gonna do an onside. In other words, I'm not gonna cross my body and grab the foot. I'm going to sit up. I'm gonna do an onside. I like to do this a very specific way. I'm gonna do a C-clamp with my palm down to the ground, because in a second, after I pin his foot down, I'm gonna use that to post myself up. So I don't grab this way, palm in, I go C-clamp like I'm peeling an orange, thumb down, and I'm gonna push his hip control down to the ground. Now I'm gonna use this post to get my hips up and move over, but there's one thing I gotta do with my free hand. If I just do this and take this hand out of the equation and I hop over, I start to beat this ankle lock, but since I didn't check Bill's knee, he can drive this knee to the mat, go chest down, and now he actually has more torque on my ankle. So I tried to counter it, but I forgot a step. I put myself in an even worse position. So what do we do, coach? All right, look, same thing, C-clamp, palm down. I'm gonna get rid of this. Watch my other hand. I'm gonna come around and hook the knee. Not only does this help to start to open this and relieve the pressure, but once I hop over here, Bill, go ahead and go down. He can't go down, I'm pulling his knee. If I don't have his knee, he can put his knee on the ground and go chest down. So both hands are gonna have 2 totally different things to do, but they're very similar. He goes into single leg X, Ashigarami. If I stay here, my ankle gets snapped off. C-clamp, palm down, posts. inside the knee. I'm gonna try to lift this up. Now, I'm gonna hop over and put the boot on. I'm gonna put my boot on, drive my leg in, hop and clear the knee. Now that I'm on this foot, see I'm actually sitting on his foot, I can let go. I like to post it in out here and I lean. You know why? I'm now gonna beat this knee and go straight to mount. Okay, so all the way through. Let's do it 2 more times. Go from this angle. He gets all the way in, attacks. Okay, 1, 2. I'm gonna put my butt on. Now gravity is pinning. I can repost my hand and lean to the side, push his knee down, and I'm gonna do a pelvic thrust to get up and over his knee. Drive myself on the target, look at my mount, go into whichever step I want. Last time, the medium speed. Let's go from hell. He breaks the guard, goes into Ashigurami. Oh, can't sit up. Beat here, beat the knee, coming into the mount, solidifying the mount. Any questions? I'll be around. Same thing. We got time for a 6-minute one on this one, okay? Don't do 10 and 10. You do 4, they do 4, you do 4, they do 4. Any questions? I'll be around.